testing in Azure Test Plan. Those who have seen the tool in the past, it's all about creating a test plan, name your test plan. Like in my case, I'm naming it as Sprint PI1, hit on create button, and there you go. You have a test plan created. Anything that you do in this tool for the testing activity or test management, it has to start from test plan. So let's take a look about this in the project itself and how it works by creating a test plan. So this is my current project. It's an agile based project, customer onboarding. The Salesforce project for all the sales order, lead generation, opportunities, etc. And the second part of this project is also data migration. So there's an existing platform in place which you would like to migrate into a new Salesforce database. So a data migration activity has to happen as well. So there are two parts to this project, and it's designed in, well, the life cycle of this project is agile. As I mentioned, anything to do with the test activity in this tool has to start from test plan. So from my project, here is the test plan, and I'm going to click on test plan first. There is an existing test plan that you can see here. That's not what we are interested in. We are going to create a new test plan. In the past, when I was struggling to find information, let's say about 2 years ago, when I was thinking of learning this tool for one of my projects, there wasn't enough information available about what should be the naming convention for the test plan. So here, let's go ahead and create a test plan first. So on your project, under the test plan, there is this test plan page where you have new test plan button. So click on it. The name, when I was looking for a reference to start with, all the YouTube videos said sample test plan 1 or something of that nature. In reality, when you go about and work on your project, you don't create things like that. So you have to have a strategy in place, what sort of test plan you need to create. So how do we name our test plan? Here is a reference that I had initially. In my Agile project, as I mentioned, we are working in sprint level activities, and it's a 2-week cycle. On this diagram, you can clearly see there are user stories, technical stories, bugs are part of the sprint activity. Now, what happens in sprint cycle, it's pretty much the same in every sprint. You have a user story being worked upon by a developer. At certain point, a developer would finish his story and raise a pull request to get it merged into developer. As and when the pull request is approved, merged to develop, it generates an artifact or a build, you can say, from a build pipeline. That build you deploy into your test environment and you perform your sprint testing activity. So I decided to go ahead and create a test plan with this sprint name itself. So every sprint will have a new test plan created. There's another reference that I had. At the end of this sprint, you would see there's a working software. Now, an efficient agile team delivers artifact every sprint. What you do is you actually perform a regression on all that product increment. So after every sprint, you also do a regression of your working software. So these 2 points were important for me to decide on designing or naming my test plan. So back to where we were. Let's go ahead and create our test plan for sprint PI1 or product increment 1. Now that we know we are going to create a test cases for all our user stories that is there in the sprint, it makes complete sense to name your test plan with your sprint name itself. So sprint PI1 is the name of the test plan. Area path is really an important point for any testers to understand. It's because when you go for a reporting and traceability purpose, you need to know where your original requirements are. This one at the moment is customer onboarding, and I know in my project all the requirement that I'm going to create test case for is under customer onboarding area path. So but in the future, as we go ahead with this course, I'll explain you more about area path. Iteration path is by default selected here. You can see customer onboarding PI1. That's the current active sprint, and it has just by default given me. If you are creating for any other iteration, you can simply click on it and select your iteration. But for me, it's PI1. So let's go ahead and create a test plan. This view here is the easiest and simple possible view. Quite a minimalistic UI, I can say, that it makes easy to understand that you are now inside a test plan. Test plan name is sprint PI1.